Hey Gemini, your February tarot reading is ready. I'm Eleanor. Welcome to Pink Pearl Tarot. I have your main themes, your week-to-week forecast here, career and finance, and then love. So for February, your main themes are electricity, and it says wildness, and then your special color is blue. Activate your healing power. So this is indicating being struck by inspiration to bring something back into balance. Perhaps it's something in your physical body, or it could be your mental well-being. It's that spark of life in you being reignited after a time of burnout or prolonged rest and regeneration. Your motivation gets restored here, and along with it, something just a little feral. Unleashed is the word that comes to mind. You're unleashing your power to create some positive change that you've been wanting to make for a long time. Something that makes you feel less encumbered or restricted somehow. You're figuring out how to be a conduit for the energy that you need to move towards greater wholeness. Now for week 1, you have judgment with strength. The key word I'm getting with this is activation. You're being activated, called up, woken up from a dream state. And with that electric energy, it could actually feel like a jolt, like an undeniable call that comes in almost like biblical style in terms of like the fanfare and the drama. The angels always had so much flair, right? I mean, it's not going to be a whisper. It's going to be clear. I'm not a Christian. I'm just like calling on that imagery. And it's going to take courage, grace, and humility to answer that call. The call could speak directly to something primal within you. And I dare say that what gets awakened is the beast, as they say. But the difference between whether that beast arises in the service of destruction or growth is going to go back to what you have healed or not with that blue energy. So take extra special good care of yourself this week. Have patience and compassion for yourself. And hopefully that beast will be a great ally. Now week 2, you have the Hermit with the Ace of Potted Trees or Pentacles. You are your best investment this week. And I could also say treat yourself with energies like these. Whatever adds fuel to your inner light, gift it to yourself. I'm also hearing personalized or tailored. Whatever methods you're using for your personal healing, steer clear of one size fits all anything this week. I wouldn't bother with things like a generic multivitamin, a general tarot reading. Honestly, you'd be better off getting a personal one with someone that resonates with you. So yeah, invest in tailoring your healing methods uniquely to you, and don't put too much stock in what has helped other people. You're not other people, you're you. Now week 3, you have the Knight of Cacti or Knight of Swords and the Hanged Man. This is a week for information gathering and analysis, not action. It's an extremely mentally active time. With when the Hanged Man comes up, it means that it is either not possible or not advisable to take action, but to take oneself out of the equation and take on the role of observer. So you're looking for patterns, you're compiling data, you're filling a piggy bank of other people's 2 cents, not to be confused with a rest and retreat energy like the Four of Swords would be. You're engaged, you're just decentered, if that makes sense. There's something about objectivity here and how entrenched we can all get in our own perspective. So there's an opportunity for a shift towards a more accurate perspective of a situation or life in general, so that when you do begin to take bold actions, they have a chance to be better informed and more effective towards reaching your goals. Now week 4, you have the Fool with the Tower. Okay, so this is not what this means, but the first image that came into my head was James Bond leaping from a burning plane and landing on a moving train, or landing in a convertible or something, right? A great escape. It's not quite that dramatic, but it is 2 major arcana and pretty heavy ones at that. So this does represent a pivotal moment in your life's story arc. It's a little bit of a trust fall moment where some structure in your life that was built on shaky ground is starting to show evidence that it isn't tenable. But you already knew this. This says that getting free from whatever that is all you need to do. Where you go next, where you land, what you're taking with you, what's on the other side or the outside, that will reveal itself in time. The more pressing question is, where's the exit? The Fool travels very light, knowing that everything needed will be found along the way. So take that mindset into this week of traveling light, and that everything you need you will find along the way. Kind of like a Scarecrow, Tin Man, and Lion. The Tower can represent a safety structure that is actually a prison. So this is a call to move towards freedom, scary as that might sound. And also with this, don't go down with any ships. I feel like something could be breaking down and you don't want to be tied to it. This is about mobility. So like I'm thinking of the fires right now and maybe looking at ways you can be better prepared for times when you might have to evacuate a place or situation. Now for career and finance, you have the Three of Swords with the Eight of Wands. The Three of Swords in a career or finance reading is going to be talking about distant or recent toxic work environments or toxic partnerships that are affecting how you proceed today. The pain lives there, affecting the choices that we all make. We all have that pain from the past that's informing our choices now. But here in February, it looks like it could be used as a catalyst for change if you can allow it. And that could even be incorporated into the healing process, because healing is a big part of your overall theme right now. These two cards alone, though, are not very specific as to what that could look like. It probably varies a lot for everyone. So some of you might use your influence to create change for others in a situation, while others of you might be catalyzed to remove yourself from an environment and never look back. For some of you, it could be confronting your own trauma and how it affects how you show up with your colleagues and how it might be holding you back from professionally advancing. But the Eight of Wands is very much a lightning-like energy, an unstoppably, powerfully charged force that propels you forward. So for love, I am changing how I do the love portion. Instead of a general overview that can be confusing as to what it means for whom, I'm doing person A, person B, and how they're viewing the connection in this 1 month little snapshot in time. So keep in mind that this is ever evolving energy. So person A with the Hermit in reverse is viewing the connection as a reflection of themselves. The success of the connection, the quality, the caliber of the other person, all reflections of them and who they are. So like they say, if you don't know if you're attractive or not, look at the people who you come into partnership with, because people generally date within their own echelon of attractiveness. So this person is viewing themselves actually through the lens of the connection. Now person B with Chariot in reverse here is feeling a strong drive towards the connection itself, but is uncertain if the individual trajectories of each party are going to the same place. The question they're asking themselves is, do each of your paths lead towards each other in the end? And that feels uncertain to them. So there's a risk for this person focusing on the relationship over their own path for fear that it will lead away. So under the themes of wildness, lightning, and healing, while the sexual energy appears to be off the charts, the advice for person A would be to start looking at healing that part of themselves that lacks inherent identity, that is seeking it in connection. Now, yes, connection, love, acceptance, and partnership, those are all basic human needs. So this is not to minimize that, but being a basic human need is not the same as being the source of identity for a person. Now, the advice for person B would be to remember that the person meant for them, or I guess if you don't believe in that, the person most aligned with them will be found on their path. You don't have to deviate from your path to find someone. It reminds me of that meme, and I quote it all the time because it's just so perfect. Don't commit to me, commit to your evolution, and I'll meet you there. So it's not saying to shy away from the connection for person B, but to still keep focus on their own trajectory and to not fear where it's going, because these paths might be aligned in the short term. They might be aligned for a long time, but this parallel time is still part of the story. So that's what I have for you, Gemini. It looks like an awesome February. Much love, and I'll talk to you next month. Thank you.